One, thank you for coming up today. My old subscribers, thank you. And to those that are viewing for the first time or that have not subscribed, please click on the subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. And to my new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. Please do not forget to hit on the like button. This story is going to shock a lot of people. And this actually happened in Delta State, Nigeria. And it's a story that a lot of parents are saddened about, and they are very, very unhappy and furious with what has just happened. It was actually gathered that a 49 years old pastor with Deeper Life Bible Church, who goes by the name Jonah, has been arrested for allegedly defiling a 10 years old girl in Delta State, Nigeria. Is this not heartbreaking? Hearing that your child was defiled at the age of 10 by a pastor, not just a pastor, by a man, and not just that, for her being defiled alone or touched by a man. It's so devastating and depressing to hear. It was also notified that this incident happened at the Ekorepe community in Ugeli South local government area of Delta State. And also the human rights activist who goes by the name Israel Joe disclosed this incident today, just this morning, May 25th, 2021, said that the suspect is currently being detained at the Otu-Jeremi police station. And it was further disclosed that this incident has left members of the community in shock, as the accused happens to be a close friend to the father of the victim. That is what has made this very, very terrible. He is not just a pastor in the Deeper Life Bible Church. He is not just a random man that was just going up around the street, but he is a very good friend to the father of this young girl. How heartbreaking would the family even feel? This has even made it worse. If he was someone that didn't even know the family, he was just a man working on his own, then you would know that, okay, it may make it easier for the parents to even handle the situation. But right now, it's going to make it more difficult, because the rage and the anger in the heart of the parents will be worse than when they didn't know the man. So which means this man who has been coming to the family and portraying himself as pastor of the house, friend to the family, pastor to the family, was just after their little daughter. Why are some people very mean? Why do they lose their sense of sanity? How can a matured man of 49 years old, a married man, not just a normal man, but you are a pastor, a man of God, who preach and talk about Christ, you now decided to carry a little girl of 10 years old, your friend's daughter, to now defile this little child? You know, when you hear of things like this, it's really devastating. It's so difficult to even hear. Look at little children will be defiled by matured men. If you are so much in a very big or difficult situation, why don't you go and meet people that are available, who are there freely? So women, that is what they work for. It's not better you go and meet all those women that are out there and telling you, come and have whatever you want to have with them, than going to meet little children? If it was so bad for him, why didn't he communicate with either his fellow pastor in church or a fellow member of his church whom he's close with, and express what he is feeling inside so that they can help him out? But instead, he decided to satisfy his desires. This man has conceived this thing for a very long time. You know, they say, out of the heart, the abundance of the mouth speaketh. You can't just wake up from sleep and do something without conceiving it in your heart. At that time, this man was conceiving this evil act, this horrible abomination, because it's a big abomination. Why didn't he tell himself as a pastor that he is, that this is wrong. Even the Bible kicks against it. But he decided to satisfy his own desires at the expense of that little child. What if she had passed away in that process? And now the parents may even be afraid of either the child is not being contracted with any form of disease. Why is it that some men don't even have a heart when it even has to do with little children? If it was his own daughter that this was done to, how is he going to feel? And also, it was said that the 49 years old Deeper Life pastor Jonah have allegedly defied the 10 years old girl repeatedly, not just once. And they have been on his trail since Thursday last week. And he was finally arrested, and he's currently detained at the Otu-Jeremi police station. And this incident, which took place at Ekorokpo community in Ugeli South local government area, has left the area in absolute shock. The pastor is a very close friend to the father of this little girl, and he wrote this: more than 15 pastors have been prevailing on us to put the issue aside and allow God to be the judge. But I asked if he realized God would judge when he was every day sexually abusing the little girl with threats that if she speak out, she would die. Guys, can you just imagine what this prophet, this pastor, Deeper Life pastor guy was actually telling this little girl? He has been carrying out this act for a very long time. And of course, what do you expect the little girl to do? She can't speak up because the guy has threatened to kill her. This pastor is a very mean guy. For him to go to this extent, he wanted to be satisfying himself, his own pleasure, on a little girl of 10 years old, and now threatening that he was going to kill her if ever she opens her mouth to say a word to her parents or to anybody. You see how some people are wicked. See, some ladies have lived their lives like this. Some were defied for a very long time and they couldn't speak out, all because of the threats. They were afraid, and that's why you'll be asking yourself, some ladies that had gone through this, and they'll be telling you their ordeal. You'll be wondering, why did you keep quiet all this while? Some of them, they kept quiet because of the threats, and that was how this little girl kept quiet, because she was afraid. And he kept on going further. He said, alright, the activist said that at this point he had to call on the DPO of the Otu-Jeremi police station never to compromise the investigation, as they would no longer be comfortable with his plea for peace, that it is a criminal offense and should be transferred to the state headquarters for further investigation and prosecution. And being a pastor does not keep one immune from issues of criminal persecution. Exactly. He said, thanks to our CDHR Foreign Unit for following up on the matter from day one, and that they would collectively tell the police DPO they had to put down a phone number that they should reach out to the DPO if there is a need for that. You can hear what his fellow pastors were even saying. When other pastors, over 15 pastors, more than 15 pastors of the Deeper Life Bible Church, when they now confronted them with this issue of the head, they now told the man, the father, that they should not involve the police. They should allow God handle it. So the man said, oh, so the activist said, you are now saying they should let God handle it. But when this man was trying to defile this little girl, and when he thought of the act, did he allow God to take control of him so that he wouldn't defile the girl? And now they are now saying that he should not be persecuted, he should not be taken to jail, or he should not be handed over to the police, that let them allow God handle. You can imagine how they are thinking. If it were their own child, would they be saying the same thing like this? Just think of that word that they are even saying. Yes, we let God take over situations, but this is an obvious act of evil, act of abomination. So you would let him go scot-free so that he will keep on doing it to other ladies, other little girls, all because he's a pastor. He's not immune. Being a pastor doesn't serve as an immunity for him not to face the law. This is a criminal act because he had defiled a little girl, a little child of 10 years old. What was he thinking? At that point, he did not think of God. He didn't remember God. So you can see this is where some people have destroyed the house of God. Some people have turned the name of God into mockery. Some people will make other people to start questioning other good pastors because the bad ones would spoil the eggs and destroy the other ones too. You will start raising alarm or raising questions. Are these other ones real? Are they also not doing the same thing? Why are those other pastors now telling them not to take him to the police station? They should let God handle it. What kind of a talk is that? I'm sure the parent will be so upset with that kind of a suggestion from his fellow pastors. He should face the law for this evil abomination that he has committed. These other ones that are talking now, what if this happened to them directly? If they were affected directly, would they be saying this kind of a thing? How are they expecting the parents of this little girl to feel? Imagine this girl has been living in fear and going through this horrible act from this pastor guy. He didn't think of God, he didn't fear God, but this pastor Jonah decided that he will keep on hurting this girl, destroying her life by threatening her and saying he will kill her. So where is the godliness in you? Where is the form of God in you as a human being and as a pastor? Even the Bible says, not all that call me Lord, Lord shall make the kingdom of heaven, and not all that call me Lord, Lord are even my own servants. For a man of God to go ahead and do this kind of a thing, what would you say of him? The next thing now, if you ask him, go to the police station now and hear his confession, he would now say the devil pushed him to eat. He didn't know when he was doing or carrying out an act like this. You didn't know because your eyes were shut, closed, or your sense of reasoning had left you. I'm glad that that activist has made up his mind that he would see the end of this, and he would make sure that this particular pastor Jonah ends up in jail and he would face charges for this horrible crime he had committed. It is so terrible looking at something like this. How can this man, look at how matured he is, 49 years old man, and he decided that he would now defile a 10 years old girl. There are free hawkers on the street that would even give you for free, let you have them for free. Why don't you go and meet them? Why destroy this little girl's life? And this pastor did not even have a conscience. This is even your own friend's child. How painful can this be? All the while he's been coming into the house, he was looking at that little girl. Instead of him concentrating on what brought him to the house, but he had an ulterior motive. And that is what will also make some parents to be very careful bringing in other men into their own homes when they have daughters in the house, because some of them, they are not coming for the conversation with their friend who is the man or the father in the house. They are coming for something else. Maybe the day they will come in and they see you have a daughter in the house, they now start looking at that child. That's when they'll be frequenting that house all the time. I think in some situations, some men should keep their friendships outside. End it outside, especially if you have daughters in the house. Don't bring those men to the house, because you can't even trust anybody. Okay, look at who will believe that this Deeper Life Bible Church Pastor Jonah would do this kind of a thing to this little girl of his own best friend, his own close friend. That is how that other one, there was a story I had posted earlier. The video I had posted regarding a man, his own best friend too. This one was his own best friend who was always coming to the house and eating with them in the same plate. Now started having an affair with his own wife. So that's why you see that some of these men you bring to the house as your friend, some of them have ulterior motives. So you need to be careful. Fathers out there, you need to be very careful on bringing people you claim they are your friends into the house. Some of them are coming there for something else. When they come in, they see you have a beautiful wife in the house, or they see you have a daughter in the house. They don't mind the size of that child. They don't mind the age of that child. They want to have that particular child. And you would not know anything because you've already trusted the friend. You see him as a close friend, and he will come and be acting like he's a member of the family, and you won't suspect anything because you will be carried away with his niceness, with his closeness to the family, and thinking that this man is just out to have a good time with your family, unknown to you that those are strategies. Some of them will keep coming every day. They will come with gifts. Some will come and spend a long time with you and try to see how they can help you out with issues in the house. Unknown to you that these are strategies for them to get closer to your home, so that even when they start getting closer to your little daughters in the house, you won't suspect anything. Some even come like they're trying to have fun with your children and take your kids out, and they will tell you, oh, let's take them out to the park, or I want to take your kids out today to go and have fun. Parents, please be very watchful, be very careful. Don't leave your kids, especially your daughters, in the hands of any man that is not even their father in the house. Because once you leave them to this third party, this man who claims to be the friend of the house, some of them are even close relatives, some are uncles, some are cousins, and they want to tell you, oh, I'm taking your daughter out today, let us go out to the park, or let's go to some resort centers and let me show them around. Please tell them no. I think it has got to that because some of them would use that to take advantage of your kids, and some will start buying things for your daughters, for your little daughters, and they would not feel anything would come in contact with them and that uncle or father's friend that they are going out with. To them, they are going out with their father's friend, or they are going out with their uncle, and they are so innocent that most of these little children don't even know anything. And then you take them out, you buy things for them, you start doing some unnecessary dated things with them, and then claiming that you are their uncle, or claiming that you're trying to teach them something. That is how some of them are. They are so bad to that point. They will now start doing all those dated things with these little girls, and they'll be telling them, I'm training you, I'm teaching you something, and unknown to these little children what their motives are. So parents, it's now up to you. Please be very, very careful. Don't come leaving a man who claims to be your husband's friend or the friend of the family, leaving them alone in the house. Or stop even bringing them to the house. You guys can end your old friendship outside, and don't let them close to any member of your family, especially when you have girls in the house. See how mean this pastor can be. A 10 years old, you as a pastor, as a man of God, you didn't communicate with God and pray to God to help you fight that addiction or that thing that is going on inside of you. You decided to allow yourself to destroy a little girl's life, because this is destroying this little girl's life. And she'll be living in fear because of that threat. And how can you threaten a girl of 10 years old? A child of 10 years old who doesn't know anything, you're threatening her that you're going to kill her. Because you know, once you mention killing, the girl would not be able to do anything anymore than to succumb to your request. Isn't this very mean? Imagine the pain this little girl be going through. This man has subjected her to his own objects of defilation and defile her to the point that the girl can't even speak up anymore. But I'm glad that he was finally caught, and I'm glad that he is going to face the law and he'll face the charges against him, because Israel Joe, that's the activist in Ughelli, said he's not going to let this go, and he would ensure that this man is even transferred to the head division headquarters for criminal charges for people that have committed an abominable act like this, because it's an abomination, a very big abomination. I just pray that this little girl is safe and healthy. I just pray that she is in a very good condition health-wise, because this is where some of them contract very dangerous diseases, because you don't know what these men have gone to, what they have done, and then they now put it on these innocent little children. It's so terrible. Please, parents, I think parents need to be very, very careful at this point. Please be very watchful. It should come to the point where parents should leave their male friendship male friends outside their home. Don't bring them to your house. If it is so important that the male friend has to come to your house, ensure that your daughters are not around them. Ensure that you put your family outside that relationship, and whatever discussions you have should be done, and then everybody go. And don't invite or allow your friends to come in your house in your absence. Some people have trusted their friends to that point where they will allow them to come in whenever they want to. Even when they are not around, they will claim they are coming to have fun or play with the children or get something for the children, and you as the parent, you'll be so relaxed, like, oh, there's a friend to the family, or he's a pastor, nothing can happen, or he's a relative, nothing can happen. But it's an eye-opener. No one can be trusted anymore. If a pastor, a man of God, can do this, how much more a man who is not a pastor, or how much more a relative or an uncle? So please, desist from bringing close friends that are male into your home, especially when you have daughters in the house. Parents, it's up to you right now to take this upon yourselves, because these days some men can't control themselves anymore. They don't care about how your little daughter would feel. They don't care about whatever would happen to that little girl. All they're after is to satisfy themselves. Please, parents, be watchful. Friends, what do you think about this horrible, abominable act that Pastor Jonah has committed? And also, other pastors, more than 15 pastors, were even saying they should not take him over to the police. They should allow God to handle it. Guys, what do you all think with regards to this statement that has even been said by his fellow pastors? Please, if you have anything to say, you can put that down at the comment section. Please don't forget to hit on the like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified each time we upload a new video. Thank you. God bless you all.